So welcome to another video of Borderless Commerce, where I'll be sharing you the 5 biggest lies for dropshipping if you want to consider doing this for your business. So let's go with lie number 1, special event discount. Now in China, there are plenty of days, just like there are worldwide, where there are certain events that there are discounts. To give you an example, overseas, in the USA, there's Black Friday, which is the Friday after Thanksgiving, where apparently everything is super duper cheap and people can get good deals. Well, in China, the equivalent of that is 11/11, which is known as Singles Days because it all has 1111 on the date. Well, Taobao, or more so, Alipay, has an event on Taobao and 1688 promoting 11/11. And this is a day that everyone in China knows, especially if you've been here for a while, that it's a big discounted event. Well, it turns out I did a little test, but to give you some data before I go into the test, last year, 11/11/2020, they broke $74 billion in sales in one day. Within the first half hour, they already broke the year before's record in 2019. So you can see that this event is huge. They spend so much on marketing, like you just can't ignore that 11/11 is coming up. And usually 1 or 2 months before the event, you have pictures everywhere, marketing, just can't get away from it. Everything on Taobao, you see a little special sign that says 11/11 discount. You're not gonna get away from it if you actually shop in China. They even have these discounts sometimes in stores. My wife falls for it all the time. So I did a little test. I picked like 5 items in my cart about 1 or 2 months before 11/11. And then I recorded the price. And then I waited till 11/11 came and I looked at the price again. And lo and behold, it was the exact same price. For lie number 1, don't believe all these events that happen for these e-commerce platforms, because they really sometimes just pump up the price and then slash the pumped up price and say the regular price that it actually costs, and you don't get a discount in the end. Now, there are discounts for certain items if you look carefully, but something I need to note is that you need to do your due diligence and do your proper digging to get the proper information. I've had colleagues and friends actually get great deals on TV sets and some electronics. You just gotta look very deep for them. But if it's your common advertising that everybody can see, I will take it with a grain of salt before believing there's a huge discount. The next biggest lie for drop shipping, if you're in this business or if you deal with people that have done this business, is money back guarantee. Now, I'm not saying that it's impossible to get your money back for certain orders. Actually, on my platform, if you ask for a refund or you didn't get the goods and you can prove it, I just give you your money back. But there are people that can guarantee money back and they don't have the resources or the infrastructure to actually give you that money back and save some money in the back end. For example, if they don't have a warehouse at your country where they can store the goods when you ship it back to the warehouse, then where are they going to ship it back to? China? You're going to have to reconsider the shipping costs that can just add on to the money back guarantee. So there's usually always a fine line when it comes to money back guarantees when it comes to the drop shipping business. Now, in China, to be specific with Taobao and 1688, there's a rule that within 7 days, they won't ask you questions, you can ask for your money back. You should take advantage of this policy inside of China. So what does that mean? As soon as you order and receive the goods on hand, you have 7 days to file a claim to return the product and get your money back. No questions asked. After those 7 days, the process can get a little bit trickier. Some companies support it, some companies don't, but I recommend that you take advantage of those 7 days. Now, if you're drop shipping overseas, because most companies like 168 and Taobao do not ship overseas, and if they do, they already have a freight forwarder that they work with. For overseas projects, I would recommend you inspect the products before it leaves China. Either use an agent or use a third party to go ahead and ship those products for you and make sure they're good to go. In addition, get that insurance. It doesn't hurt to get that insurance before you ship the product, because if something were to happen during transit, at least you have a way to protect yourself and you can get the money back if something were to be damaged along the way. I've read multiple news sources and news articles about shipments, particularly by sea, just, the boat sinking and all the goods on the boat, which was a ton. just falling apart into the ocean. It happens. I'm not going to say it's happening to you, and it will happen to you, but that's why the insurance is there to protect you. So 2 things I recommend is to inspect the product before it leaves China to take advantage of those 7 days you got in China, and then purchase the insurance if you're doing overseas purchases. Now, biggest lie number 3, we can ship anything. We can source any kinds of goods and ship them to your country. Well, be a little careful with that. Although that statement may slightly be true, depending on the goods that you actually do purchase may require different ways of shipping it overseas. For example, if you're just buying clothing, simple jewelry, nothing with batteries, some electronics that doesn't have like internal batteries like a cell phone, and nothing with like liquids or anything hazardous, you're good to go. You can most likely ship that for a very cheap price, especially if you use the e-packet way, which is 2 kilograms or less and less than 60 centimeters on each side of the dimensions. You're good to go. You can take advantage of the e-packet shipping, which is fast and cheap, and the cheap product. But as soon as you want to get very particular and specialized, for example, if you want to start an e-bike business, so you can see this e-bike right here, if you want to start an e-bike business in your country, it's a great idea. But there's a couple of things you need to be concerned with. Shipping batteries is expensive. To ship anything hazardous, you need special certified people that know the exact contents of what's inside that battery and make sure that they pack the goods and they don't blend certain hazardous materials with other hazardous materials, because you don't want a leak happening on the boat or on the aircraft. All these things require additional resources and additional certifications to make sure they can go through. Now, typically DHL and FedEx do provide these services, but man, they charge an arm and a leg. So when you say you can ship anything, be very careful. Although it may be a good idea, it may sound like a good idea to ship a car to your country, import used cars from China and resell them in your country. That sounds good, but people underestimate the logistics in the back end, the export licenses required, the company registration required. There's just a lot of things you need to be careful about. So if you're just starting off this business, you may want to consider starting off selling things that are like clothing, jewelry, and electronics that don't have batteries. If it's like a toy electronic that has batteries inside, like AA, just tell the supplier to get rid of them and don't install them into the toy, and then you can go ahead and ship them all right. Because you don't want to be caught in a rut where someone purchased something quite abnormal on your platform, and then you have to go through all these hoops to find the right person to ship it overseas, and then you lose your profit margin because the shipping cost is just way more than you thought it was. And then the person ends up not being able to ship it. And then when it arrives to your country, the import regulations don't allow for certain items. Like if you're buying wireless headphones, if it's a certain frequency, they won't let you sell it in some countries, blah, blah, blah. All these things you'll run into if you start shipping weird things. The 4th biggest lie in the drop shipping business is we can ship anywhere. That's just a plain lie. Unless this person actually has the connections with multiple logistics agencies that have shipped in all kinds of different countries, you can guarantee almost, maybe there's 1 or 2 people that can do this, that you can't ship everywhere in the world. And I'm talking about every single country in the world. The majority of the country, sure. The typical couriers like DHL, FedEx, China Post, SF, they have a large list of countries, maybe over 100 countries that they can ship to. But as soon as you get very specialized, like in the center of Africa or something like that, you will need to find a special logistics provider that can provide those services for you. So don't make the promise that you can ship anything anywhere around the world. Be very careful and select the actual countries that you can actually ship to. Another example are the Virgin Islands. It's very hard to ship products from China to the Virgin Islands. And it's not that China doesn't want to ship. Hold on, it's pretty noisy. Give it a little bit. It's like a convoy of trucks coming by. Yeah, it's not that China doesn't want to ship to your country. It's just maybe there aren't so established logistics networks, whether it's via air or via sea, that can actually ship to that country. And someone did the cost benefit analysis and it's just too costly to set it up. So what you end up doing is you find a specialized freight forwarder that their sole business focuses on your couple countries. If it's very special and a unique location, then you work out a deal with them on how to ship your goods overseas. I actually have a WeChat group I can add you to if you fall under this category that doesn't take shipments from DHL or EMS. you can at least try and find a partner on this group, and then you can ship to your country overseas. Just scan this QR code. I'll put it somewhere up here to add me as a friend, and I'll go ahead and add you to that shipping group, so long as you tell me what products you want to sell and what country you want to ship to. Also, do note that if you buy directly from 168 in Taobao, 90% of the time, they ain't gonna ship overseas. There are some cases that I've actually gone through that they were able to ship products to Hong Kong and even sometimes to the US if you put the overseas address there. But a lot of the times, as soon as the supplier sees the overseas address, they're like, nope, we cannot send that. Sorry, you need to use a third party to send it. And that's why there's different services that can help you ship goods overseas. Like there's a warehouse that I used to use called Quaidza 56. I'll put the video up here on exactly how to use them. But essentially you can buy from 168 and Taobao, ship to their warehouse, and then from their warehouse they can inspect it and then ship it overseas to your final destination. I've used them for quite some time. They're pretty reliable, but they do help with this headache of not being able to ship overseas if you buy from Taobao, Pinduoduo, Weidian, or whatever other platforms you use. The biggest lie, in my opinion, all these are my opinion, by the way, they're not absolute, but the biggest lie out of the 5 for drop shipping is free shipping. That's right, free shipping. There is no such thing as free shipping. So if you search for a product and you peel back the onion, like if you find a product on AliExpress or Alibaba, just take a picture of that item and then look for it in the domestic platform of the Taobao or 1688. And you'll notice there's a huge price difference. So let's go through an example. I'll just talk through one. If you find something that's like $50 and it says free shipping for a gadget, right? And you search this gadget from Alibaba on 1688, it might cost like $3 on the actual 168 platform. So that's about $47 of some leeway you have as the supplier. Well, lo and behold, instead of saying the shipping price, they just say free shipping because it is a great marketing tool to get you to buy from them. And this is something I've kind of been considering for my website as I'm trying to integrate all these APIs so that my customers can buy just one time. They don't have to buy 2 times, which is a big headache, and I'll save that for another video. But because they are able to buy the product so cheaply, they include the profit margin and just say free shipping, but it truly is not free shipping. The absolute cheapest shipping I have seen doing some research here is you work with Chinese overseas courier companies like SF and China Post to be exact, and then you sign up under a business account and you sign a contract with them. So if you know the platform Wish, they actually use China EMS that offers e-packet services. I actually have the whole price list of what they charge based on your weights and dimensions, and none of it says free. You have to pay some kind of price. So what these people do is that they post an item and then they say free shipping, but in reality they bought it for so cheap that their margin is so protected they can just say free shipping to get you to buy the product versus another product that may not say free shipping, but it may be a little bit cheaper. Maybe it's a tactic you can use in your store when you find out how cheap you can buy some products, and you can just say free shipping when it really isn't to get more customers. Who knows? You can let me know how it is. So I hope you learned something from this video, and I would love to hear what you think the biggest lies are for drop shipping, because I'm sure you heard them a lot and I'm sure you had a lot of experience. Anyways, if you watched till the end, thank you so much. If you want to make sourcing easy, consider subscribing, for I post videos like this every week to help you start your sourcing business. Catch you next time.